why not review a game of Mr. Dr. Utut Kayn top. So if you guys don't know, a lot of players have been playing Kayn top. This is another streamer, a pretty big streamer.
By the way, this was
Twitch.
Karasmai,
His name's
who
Drewtooth.
unironically
He
won this
is
game.
incredibly good.
Closing parenthesis.
Oh, Alloy, thanks to 6 months. Drewtooth is an incredibly good player. He's one of the highest ranked EU Challenger players, and he has decided to pick up Kayn top. So everybody, we're going to be reviewing that game and kind of going over the whole thought process, the plays, the mentality. Really going to dive into this. Now, first thing I have to say, Odyssey, my favorite skin overall. Odyssey, absolutely amazing, beautiful. Starts longsword with a refill pod. He goes first strike, ghost ignite. I always found this to be very interesting. I'll tell you his full rune page while kind of wait here. All right. But he goes first strike, magical footwear, futures market, cosmic insight, eyeball collection, treasure hunter. I found this to be very interesting. As I mentioned, Drewtooth, if you don't know who he is, he's a streamer, so I've watched a couple of his streams. I've seen some of his Kayn games, and I noticed that he does some very interesting things. His game knowledge is, I think, this is the main thing that separates a player like me and a player like Drewtooth who could pull off such a strategy, or someone like Olive that could pull off such a strategy, who is the inventor of Kayn top with this playstyle. The difference between me and them is they understand the top lane matchups. They know how to punish, they know when to reset, they know a lot more, infinitely more about top lane than I do. I understand Kayn, but the things that they do in top lane, it is incredibly impressive to me. So we're going to be reviewing this Kayn game real quick. He's up against a Gwen with Ghost, TP, and Lethal Tempo. So you cannot look for any long trades. It has to be a short in and out. So we're going to just see how he kind of plays this. I'm interested to see how he plays the early lane phase here as well. Let me cut out the vision from the enemy side here. Don't want any unfair advantages. Okay. So he steps up, executes the wave. So he gets an early shove in. It's very interesting. So the early shove, a little bit of poke. Makes Gwen tank the minion wave there. Gets the first strike proc, a little 11 gold. So already at an aggressive start, puts an early ward. Careful that he might get ganked early, I suppose. Okay. That's the early level 2, tries to go for an all-in. So look, he's already gotten her down to half HP. He's just consistently poking with Qs, even got an auto in there. So his spacing is phenomenal. Okay. Zoning W. I would think that usually when you use your W, you should save it to like zone off the minions, but it's fine. He's a much better top laner than I don't mean to backseat, but I just think that the way that you want to use that would be a little like that. So Gwen actually goes in for a pretty crazy trade there. Loses her ghost. So let's just replay that real quick. So Gwen, her mind thinks that it's smart at this HP difference that she can go in for a trade, E-ring to longsword, because she has her Q stacked, but she E's in, which is kind of the weird thing. So this means Kayn could just W, auto Q, Ghost Ignite. So that's a huge trade to win. What maybe this Gwen was thinking was to get him low, because she can get the reset here, and maybe she can get the proper wave set up. But if he gets this crash, then it's kind of really beneficial for him more than anything, because it's going to be in a bounce back, which will make the game, the lane a lot more gankable. And since Echo's topside camps are spawning soon, Echo might look for a gank top, which would be pretty smart. Very interesting. So let's see, his first reset looks to get tier. Okay, tier. I was wondering if he went for tier. I know some Kayn tops do, some don't. I noticed that he normally plays, this is the thing that throws me off. He normally plays blue Kayn top. I don't think I've seen him play red Kayn top. Maybe this game will be the game. But you'll see like 4 melee champions, and then you'll see a blue Kayn top coming out of... I wonder why that thought process is, because I find red Kayn to be higher in damage than blue Kayn. A little bit lower in mobility, but higher in damage, because the percent health damage alongside with the armor pen and the armor shred that you get from cleaver, grudge, and manamune, even high AD ratios. Now I don't typically build like tier or anything on blue Kayn or red Kayn, I mean, but it could definitely work if you're playing top lane if you don't want to take presence of mind. So I'm just kind of interested to see like kind of how this plays out though. So now he's in this bounce back, the one I mentioned, so it's in a real gankable position. So if Echo was paying attention, he would just look for the free gank top. Gwen has no ghost, overextended, Kayn is pretty solid setup. He's able to get on top for pretty easily. But he's just gonna slowly farm the CS. Just trying to soak up XP and just farm with W while the wave shoves in. Gwen didn't even deny him any CS there, so this is like a perfect setup, because look at the CS difference. She's at 30. I think they're actually a bit close to even. But Gwen's just like dead set on CSing. That's her method of play into the Kayn. Okay. Just hard shoves the wave. Nice. He scouts her with E. And this is where they start to proxy. So this is something you'll notice from a lot of Kayns. So I've seen him mention things about certain matchups, high kill potential matchups. He won't look to proxy. Okay. It looks like because he can't proxy, he's just gonna go for the ints. Waste her time, make the wave die to the turrets. It's not a bad idea at all, because this once again is setting up his wave. Wow, I'm surprised Gwen actually chased that far. That was an incredibly smart idea, because if he can make it back to this lane before the wave dies, she just miss out on a full wave for free, and he's able to catch pretty much, yeah, an entire wave. So he gets the wave regardless. He gave her some XP from him dying, and he actually looks to get Cole here. So he notices that this Gwen doesn't know how to play into the proxy, and immediately gets Cole. That is very smart. So this is the type of stuff that I mentioned, like knowing which laners can kill you that have like high kill potential to chase you down, and knowing which don't, so you can like look for a proxy and whatnot, is very, very smart. Okay, so now he's just gonna look to clear the wave. So satisfying to see Kayn farm fat wave like that. W's and Q's works really smooth, and he actually winds up ahead in CS. He was down 7 CS, which is about a full wave, a little bit over a full wave, and now he is actually ahead in CS. That is crazy. Wow. That is a just genius plan, and now she doesn't even look for the proxy. Like I said, man, this is just something that you would just never expect out of a Kayn. This is a strategy that pretty much I've only ever seen Singe do in my entire career is playing League. And for people that take a champion I'm very fond of, my favorite champ of the game, my champ I'm most passionate about, and turn him into something so unique and creative, is so fun to watch. I've been seeing a lot of really fun, innovative Kayn build strategies, play styles. I have to say, I think the Kayn community is the most alive it's ever been right now, and it really makes me so happy to see. So many new players are playing Kayn. So let's see. Proxy is another wave. I want to see how long he plays for the proxy. I'm assuming towards his mana wave being down. He knew Diana was going to come because her camps were up, so he knew she was going to come, so he kind of hovers around the jungle instead of waiting in the lane. That's really smart as well. It's really, really smart. This really makes me want to play Kayn top, but I know it would take me a good amount of practice before I could truly get it down. I like it a lot though. It is really fun to watch. Alright, so he's just going to look for the full send on the Diana. Assumes that he walks into him, maybe he can get a good trade, get her low. He has the ignite of a longsword, so decent kill potential. Oh, Thresh. Threshy boy kind of messed up that E. Not looking too good for Dr. Utut, so he decides to get out. Could have been a free kill, but minor misplay by his support. Scouting this to make sure she doesn't just get it for free. Looks like a big wave's, or not a big wave, but so wave's gonna crash in the turret, so he's just gonna look to catch that. Doesn't have any die potential if he has enough mana for ult, so that's good. He knows that Diana's on Rifts as well, so it's not like she's just gonna come. Plays very aggressively there into the trade and actually wins the trade very hard. Wow. That's very impressive. Like I said, like these are just things that they seem so simple, but I just would never think to do as a jungler who would play top lane myself. Like I would be playing so passive, but he knows when he could play aggressive. He knows his limitations very well. And he's not even much of a Kayn player. I think he's played what, like maybe 30-40 games? But he just understands things so well. Okay, now he's going to try and survive the dive. Gets the ult off. Oh, so close to the outplay. Does he get the kill? Oh, and he gets the kill in a 1v2, and Kiana's going to clean up. Hopefully this gets him an assist here, but she does have Ghost. Yasuo's there. Getting a 1-for-1 in this situation where you're getting the focus, the pressure, and the orbs, that's a beautiful play. Alright, let's go back to Kayn. Where is he? Alright. He doesn't have his form yet, you can tell by the full icon. Let's see his gold. So he's only down 300 gold on the Gwen, and he's getting to his form very smoothly. Love to see it. Traded Dirk, Warhammer, 59 coal stack. So he has that stacking value as well. So once that gets fully stacked, it'll help him catch up a lot. Gets his form, he'll be very dominant. Also has the aggressive sums of Ghost Ignite, so he's always going to have the fight potential over the Gwen. It's lovely. Looks like Gwen's leaving now, so he's going for the proxy once again. Alright. Fast forward a little bit. Just for the proxy. Goes for the deeper proxy. So I assume the deeper proxy, when you go all the way over here, is because if the jungler comes, usually you can 1v1 the jungler, but if the top comes, then this is a much more dangerous spot to be in. I'm assuming. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite familiar, but I think that's why you'd want to go deeper, but he couldn't make it to the wave in time, so he doesn't opt to go deeper. The enemy support is missing, so I think that's why he doesn't want to go too deep. He's going to wait for the wave to respawn. He knows when the fruit spawns or when it doesn't, so he looks to just catch the fruit. Looks like he's going to look for a trade on the Gwen here, thinking that she's caught out a little bit out of position. Oh no, he just goes back to the proxy. Okay, perfect. Oh, because they see the Diana on the map, so then he just knows that no one's going to come to fight him. Okay, perfect. So a lot of awareness has to go into the strategy. Good to know. That's good to know. I always thought of this as kind of a brainless playstyle where you kind of just, you don't really put too much thought into it, but it seems like there's a lot more thought process behind it than I initially thought. Very interesting to see. Right now, I think this is an account where he has, he plays on multiple accounts, but he has an 80% win rate and around 700 OP in Masters in EU. So I've seen him play on his Challenger account with this as well. So he's able to do this against some of EU's best top laners, which is extremely awesome to see. Okay. So Echo's hovering now, gonna try and help him get his form. Let's see, does he have it yet? No, he must be very close. Once you get past that 12-minute marker, you get a lot of orbs. 8 to 12 minutes is kind of the sweet spot, but post 12 minutes is skyrocket way up. So kind of hesitant on fighting early. You don't necessarily need to fight early. Post 12 minutes is just a-okay. Alright, so now he's looking for a little bit more of an aggressive trade. Let's see. Ooh, it takes a really good trade there. Now he's looking for the dive, just immediately goes, dodge the ulti, gets the ulti off. Ooh. That made me a real firm believer in the ghost. That made me a real firm believer in the ghost right there. That was, wow. That ghost went in crazy there. The guy was just gonna shove his wave. Nice. Alright, let's see. Kayn. Oh, he actually does go red Kayn. Okay, this is exactly what I was hoping to see. So he's red Kayn, Prowlers, Ghost Ignite, 4.8k gold to Gwen's 5k. But like I mentioned already, once he gets that coal stacked, he's going to actually wind up higher, and he's already got form, so this means his value is much stronger. Plus the Ignite in fights, pretty much never going to be able to lose a 1v1 is what I'm getting at. Alright. Beautiful trade. I love the way that he plays with first strike. He's always initiating the trades. That's what I noticed. Well played by the Gwen. Good movement there to dodge the W. But you can see he's still getting the better of the trades, and he's getting the first strike procs. Another thing I want you guys to notice. He didn't opt to max Q. He actually put 3 in Q and decided to max W. That's something that a lot of Kayn mains used to do, but I'm surprised to see it's been coming back a lot more. I assume that he just sees the value. Oh, that's beautifully played. That is beautifully played. Let's get a little rewatch on that. So he knows that Gwen Diana is here. The best way for him to live is to get the ult off. They're going to try and kill him before he get the ult off. Immediately Prowlers, gets the W, gets ulted. Doesn't get hit by the second Diana ult, or the second portion of her ult. And lives to tell the tale. I love it. That's beautiful. Scouts for Diana, using his E as properly as it can be. She's going to shove the wave in. He's going to catch that wave. He almost hit his coal, too. So next item we're going to be very interested to see as well. at 11 stacks. Do you think he's gonna stay on the map here to try and get this? I think he will. I think he will. Gonna be a little bit greedy, but he knows that Gwen has no TP, no ghost, so he's gonna have to catch this next wave. I think that's where he's gonna look to proxy and maybe get a reset. He doesn't have an item yet though, so maybe he won't reset. Look for fruit first and foremost, I believe. Sadly, it's not there. We're just gonna go back to lane. I think right here probably would have been a smarter idea to look for the proxy there, but I guess he's always fearful that Diana could be camping, which is fine. I think he should have a shutdown bounty on him, yeah, so he's definitely gonna be a lot more focused. Looks for a little bit of poke on the Diana, so I do like the tier on Red Kayn top. I wasn't a big fan of it, but now that I'm looking at how much mana he's actually able to hold in that top lane, not having TP could be a massive punishment. So Red Kayn with tier top lane seems very valuable. Seems very valuable. All right, and he's gonna look to get their CS, not being too greedy with the trades, but also looking to win the trades. That's one of my favorite things about his playstyle. See, now he gets the coal completely stacked, and his value is way higher. Ooh. Dodging the third ult with his ult. Being a little cute to finish it. And there's the ghost value coming in again. I can see why they run ghost now. 136 CS, 16 minutes. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Ah, that's awesome to watch. I love that. I absolutely love that. But he gets man immune second item. Okay. Animine second item. Very interesting. Which he took Treasure Hunter. Treasure Hunter over Ingenious Hunter. That's interesting. I assume because Ingenious Hunter doesn't really get too much value through the lane phase, because at most you're probably getting 1 to 2 stacks. You're not going to be able to go across the map and get all the stacks, so it's more so for that mid to late game gold to help you get other power spikes. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. I'll use it over Ultimate Hunter as well. I guess he assumes that Kayn ult is low enough as is, so it's fine. Now you can see, because he has the 2-level advantage, he can just hard send, take trades whenever, however. Prowler in, the Q, the ult to dodge the ult. Yeah, that's played very wonderfully. Oh, turn. Yes, that's exactly what you want to see in a Kayn play. Stalling out for your CD. See, a lot of Kayns, they stand still, they kind of, you know, just let the fight happen to them. But in this situation where you're facing 2 auto attackers and you're an ability-based damage champion, because a lot of your damage is from your abilities, right? Then you have to make sure that you're spacing them out properly. And he gets another kill there, so there's the Treasure Hunter value. So he played all lane phase being about equal, about even, and now he is up 2.2k gold. Almost a full item on the Gwen from his strategy. Be able to get the tower here as well, so this is going to get even more out of control. He's going to be able to buy a full item off this reset. Very interested to see what next item he goes for. Just keeps going for damage, or would he build defensive? Let's see. Okay. He has his ult coming up, so he's going to play for that. As he ignites, if he wants to really go in. Yeah, she greeted. Nice try, nice try. A little bit greedy, but got the grudge. Looking good for him. Wow, so he was worth almost 1k gold at 19 minutes. It's just crazy to see how hard this playstyle snowballs. Very crazy. I'm telling you guys, it looks very fun to play. I've been seeing a lot of players in EU kind of pick up this playstyle. Okay, waits in base for a little while, gets his grudge, and just opts to go back top. Okay, so he doesn't really look to rotate as much as I thought, because Olip's playstyle is a lot of rotating. It's a lot of team play. It's a lot of, let me get my team ahead, let me look for ways through my team, and kind of just sack the sack the wave, sack the lane phase. Drew Toots gets himself ahead and kind of looks to 1v2. So a little bit like the Balsa strategy, right? But this one's a little bit less deaths, which is really really nice. But haven't seen how it looks when people perma-gank him in the proxy. I'd assume he just doesn't go for the proxy. He definitely knows when and when not to go for a proxy. It's not an every game thing. And wow, that damage. Hey, that's the man immune grudge Prowler on Red Kayn. Oh, greeted for the Q to get off. I understand entirely. You know, someone in chat definitely typed, why did you not use your R there? How come no ult? Well, you usually want to play. His man immune wasn't even stacked in that Diana kill? Wow.
Shut down.
That's wild. Alright, let's watch him again. So he gets the Merc Treads. Figures there's a lot of CC on the enemy team. Merc Treads doesn't really do too much into the CC because Nautilus, the knock up, the slows, it helps with a little bit. But a lot of the CC that he's facing, you know, Yasuo ult, Yasuo knock up, Diana ult, doesn't really, and Merc Treads doesn't really do anything. It's more so for the defensive stats against the Gwen Diana because he's permanent the 1v2 against them. And he figures because Yasuo's behind, he can just do whatever anyway. So Yasuo is just kiting this out. Should know that no matter what, he can't do anything. He opts to just go for the Ignite ulti. No letting Yasuo outplay him. Beautiful. Okay. Ooh, nice little escape there. Very, very interesting to see there. Being someone who played in EU high elo, it is very interesting to see someone just dominate so hard. In such a funny way on Kayn. It's all I've seen do it, but Gertrude is definitely someone I wouldn't expect because he usually plays a lot of other champions like Kayle, Akshan, Gwen. So seeing him pick up Kayn has really been fun to watch. It looks like he's gonna get a kill on the Kaisa here. That should be his last treasure hunter stack, and he is at 3k gold lead now over the Gwen. I wonder what his next item here will be. He went pretty much the 3 highest damage items you can go. I wonder if they're tankier. Would he opt to go for cleaver routes? Does Tenacity work on knockups? No, it doesn't. The opposite. It's the tier 2 tower. That's a lot of gold right there. So he's at 2,900 gold. Let's see what item he opts to go here. Cleaver. Okay, so he does go Cleaver. That's good to know. I always like the Cleaver synergy with the Grudge and Prowlers. It's a little bit counterintuitive because one of them's shredding, one of them's penetrating. But it just kind of helps to kill anyone and everyone. So the ones that you need to shred, you could shred. And the ones you need to pen, you could pen. And when you mix them together on one person that can survive it, they can't really survive it so much. That's why I've always liked the Prowlers, Ignite, Grudge, Cleaver. And it's very fun to see it in top lane. It is very fun. I think actually this video has inspired me to start queuing up jungle top. And I know it's not going to be the easiest road, but I do play Kayn mid whenever I do get filled to mid. Oh, and Gwen just gives up here. Oh, beautiful Prowlers. Tries to run away. He says, no, no, you're coming back to me. Gets her out. Beautiful. Beautifully played. Okay. So 1,400 gold and 9.6k gold. That's a hell of a lane. That's a hell of a lane. Okay. So now they're just looking for the end, and I believe that is going to be the G and G. Well, boys, I have to say, Gertrude plays a hell of a Kayn. Hell of a Kayn. The top lane gameplay is very motivating. It's something that makes me want to do it. So hopefully some of you down below, you know, let me know if this is something that you want to do. Let me know if you try it, if you like it, your thoughts on it. Either way, that's it. Peace out, YouTube.